welcome to yet another UCL Fantasy video. And yeah, there's no break. There's literally every single week there's Champions League and Europa League, and yeah, we've got to keep up to date for UCL Fantasy. There have been price changes. Some of you have been asking me when are the price changes going to occur, and yeah, it seems like they always occur after Game Week 2, before Game Week 3. And yeah, there's been some interesting price changes already, but it doesn't really, play a big part in my thinking. I kind of just think more about, fixtures and form in UCL Fantasy, especially in the group stages, which is an entirely different competition in itself compared to the knockout stages. But yeah, I'm going to show you how my team did for Game Week 2. And I'm going to also just talk about my team moving forward and why I'm probably going to wildcard and all of that stuff. But yeah, my team for Game Week 2 did very well. It was a limitless, so I would have been, devastated if it didn't work out. But 93 points in the end, and I needed that after a pretty average match day 1. But yeah, I have to say, who would have thought that one of my non-performing players and my lowest performing players would be Lewandowski? This guy just didn't do anything, and they were going to have a penalty, but I think he got ruled out by VAR. But yeah, just didn't do anything and just got 2 points for playing 90 minutes, and that's really disappointing. And to be fair, I actually did consider Zapata, but when you have Lewandowski, Mbappe and Haaland, you're not really going to consider Zapata as much. And there you go. That's why with a limitless, for those of you who haven't played it yet, I would suggest do not just go for the big names and all of these high-priced players. Sometimes you could go for someone else, and I'll show you cases of where I went for lower-priced players and they did well for me. And yeah, you don't have to just go out with £12 million players up front and then £11 million players in midfield and then £7 million in defence. There's no point. You have to be smart. Look at the fixture as well. The fixture is really important in UCL Fantasy. I'd say more so than in the Premier League. But yeah, so Lewandowski was very disappointing, and Koeman, yeah, another one who got 16 points against Atletico Madrid, just didn't do anything. He missed quite a few chances against Lokomotiv Moscow. So yeah, of course I inevitably subbed them off. And Oblak, wow, I actually was considering a double up in Atletico defense for this game week, and thank God I didn't, because look at that, they conceded 2 goals to Salzburg, and I'm not too surprised because Salzburg are a decent team and they always kind of score a lot of goals. But I thought Atletico would shore it up and maybe keep a clean sheet in this game, and they didn't. So yeah, Oblak very disappointing, and he got subbed off as well. And now, the one that I was a bit reluctant to sub off, but 5 points, it's not like he got a big haul, Sergio Ramos, and that's because he got an assist towards the end of the game to make it 2-2. But yeah, 2 goals conceded, loses a point obviously, doesn't get the clean sheet, and then 4 balls recovered. But yeah, ultimately, in hindsight, I wouldn't go for a Real Madrid defender or anyone really. I don't know. Real Madrid aren't that good of a team compared to how they used to be. And yeah, to be honest, from any La Liga team, if you want to get any players, probably from Barcelona. But yeah, I'm just not too keen on Real Madrid, and I subbed this guy off. And the only disappointment in my starting 11 is Di Maria. And once again, why did I back this guy? Might as well have gone for Rashford at the same price, and he got a hat-trick against Leipzig, but to be fair, who expected that? But yeah, Di Maria very disappointing, and to be honest, PSG were struggling to score the first goal, and they eventually got it, but it was from Moise Kean and 2 Mbappe assists, but Di Maria just very disappointing, and probably someone I'll get rid of on a wildcard, as I'll explain. But speaking of Mbappe, 8 points, got 2 assists towards the end, so happy with that, and it was between him and Haaland for my captaincy. So I missed out on those 2 points from the captaincy because I did go with Haaland, but late goal from this guy, and I think he actually gave up the penalty to Sancho. And I also had Sancho in my team, so it didn't bother me too much, but probably more points if Haaland took it himself. But yeah, Haaland, very good. And this guy's just a machine. He's got 12 goals in 10 Champions League games. This guy is actually insane. And if he keeps it going, then yeah, he could literally... I don't know about challenging Messi or Ronaldo for top Champions League scorer, but he could literally be third and maybe close the gap. But yeah, this guy's exceptional talent, and well done again to this guy. And Marquinhos, 8 points. I really got him in for the ball recoveries, and he can play midfield as well. But yeah, and he also got the clean sheet, so a bonus. Very happy with him. And now I actually doubled up on Liverpool defence, and this is not what I do in FPL, but their fixture against Midtjylland. And Trent actually has quite a lot of ball recoveries in the whole season. He got 10 against Ajax and then 7 against Midtjylland. And he got the assist for Diego Jota's goal. Got the clean sheet. So yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, if it wasn't for the yellow card he got in the first game, he would be the highest scoring defender pretty much, alongside Angelino, I believe. So yeah, this guy, yeah, he done very well for me. So did Robertson. Didn't get an assist, but look at that, back-to-back 8-pointers. So very happy with this guy. Got some ball recoveries as well. And Joshua Kimmich, the Bayern conceded. And I thought, oh, you know what? After the week I had an FPL, this is just going to be a disaster, isn't it, in UCL Fantasy? But he scored a great goal from outside the box. You get a point for scoring a goal outside the box, and also obviously the 6 points as a defender for scoring a goal. He plays in defensive midfield. He's one of the top scorers for Bayern. So yeah, I think at 6.5 million it is worth it. And yeah, he delivered once again, even when he conceded a goal and didn't get the clean sheet. He got 10 points, so very happy with that. Like I discussed with Sancho, he got the penalty. Apart from that, not too much. And he's not someone I would probably get in on a wild card or for my permanent team, but happy that he got the points for me, because I was kind of doubting, approaching this game. Why did I go for Sancho? But yeah, it wasn't too bad. In the end, it was Di Maria that was the letdown, and Lewandowski, really. And the last guy, Raheem Sterling, yeah, late on, he delivered with a goal and assist, and that's back-to-back returns for him. And he got the clean sheet point, every little helps. And yeah, very happy with this guy, and took my total to 93. And the captaincy, once again, I haven't really nailed the captaincy and got my highest scoring player, but on the whole, very happy. At least my captain didn't blank in the end, and only one player from my limitless team failed in my starting 11. So very happy. And of course, the goalkeeper got the clean sheet. And that's what I expected from him. And Sevilla and Chelsea, actually, probably in terms of defensive assets and goalkeepers, they're probably some of the best options you can go for. And that's what I'll be exploring when I'm looking into my matchday free team. But this is how my normal team looks now. So back to reality. No more limitless, unfortunately. No more 93 points every week. But I haven't even sorted out my bench and, all that stuff of, the Wednesday players, because if I'm honest, I am not set on this team. And I look across the board and I can point out weaknesses. I look at Adrian, he doesn't even play anymore. And of course, I don't want to have a 4.5 million keeper who doesn't even play. I've got Pavard, who's pretty good. He's probably one of the only solid options in there. But then you can get someone like Joshua Kimmich for 1.5 million more. And I know Pavard's pretty much got he got the clean sheet in the first game, and then he got the assist in the second game. But not too keen on him. Then you got Thomas Meunier. He's another one who's pretty good. He gets ball recoveries, and he has the attacking potential that we haven't seen yet in the Champions League in terms of outright points, but I think they can come for sure. And even got the clean sheet against Zenit. And then we got Felipe, and I did say at the beginning of the season that 4.5 million for an Atletico defender is amazing, an amazing price. But they just haven't delivered, and they've conceded 6 goals, and he actually scored an own goal. So imagine if I still had him in my normal team, I would have started him. And so I'm just happy that, I played the Limitless, and, I was able to kind of have a very good team for the week. I don't think I would have got half of the points if I had stuck with it, because even Ansu Fati, he got benched, and he only got points for winning the penalty against Juventus. So yeah, maybe I would have captained Sterling. That's the thing, though. I would have captained maybe him or Haaland or whatever. But I don't know. Like, if you look across the board, Barrios is decent, but Olmo has been very disappointing. Yeah, he got 5 points against Man United, but they conceded 5 goals. What was it? One point for every goal conceded. Yeah, he got the ball recoveries, but the reason why I would have Olmo is for the assist potential and the attacking threat. It just hasn't happened yet, and they've got back-to-back games against PSG. I think the first one's at home, then it's away. Not really too keen. Then Koita, very disappointing. From what I've heard from this guy, he's not even playing that many minutes. He's not even getting the full, 60 plus to get at least 2 points. Yeah, so not happy with him. Lewandowski's been off it, but even on a wildcard, I wouldn't mind retaining him, because I know he's not going to blank every single game. I know he has goals in him. He could even score a hat-trick in the next game. I'm not really ruling that out, but yeah, you look at the rest of the team and you look at my bench, Di Maria not performing, and yeah, for 9 million, that's not good enough. Simply put, Florenzi, the main reason I'd have him is for his attacking potential on top of his clean sheet potential, but back-to-back games against Leipzig and then Man United away, it's not good enough. Yeah, they've got Istanbul at home, to top it off, but I'm not really too sure anyway. If there was any PSG defender I would want, it's probably Marquinhos, because he sometimes plays in midfield and he gets the ball recovery points. And he also has the goal or assist in him. But with Florenzi, not too keen on him. So you see, that's already a lot of players I've listed that I'm just not really looking at. And then this guy, who I brought in because Koundé could have missed the first 2 match days, and in the end he didn't. But yeah, I would get... Obviously, Koundé's much better. Plays in a better team, plays minutes consistently. So yeah, this guy also, he's probably the first guy out, in my mind. And then Neto, to be fair, he's not too bad. But I would probably prefer having Mendy, the Chelsea keeper, or Bono, the Sevilla keeper. And they all play on the same day, so there's only one option there. So yeah, he's probably another one I'd look to get out of. But, he's not too bad. He's probably one of the better players in my team. But yeah, that's why I think a wild card is needed. Too many problems. Haaland is, kind of a set and forget, in my opinion, until he gets knocked out. But yeah, apart from that, a lot of problems with my team. And this is how I'm lining up for my wild card. Now, there's going to be a few variables, so I'm going to explain later on, but I'm just going to run through the team overall. And starts off with Mendy in goal. And the main reason for it is because, back-to-back games against Rennes, yeah, they do have the away game against Sevilla, and I don't expect Chelsea to keep a clean sheet. But then they've got Krasnodar at home in the end. And Mendy has been very good this season, not just in the Champions League, but in all competitions. He's pretty much kept a clean sheet in, his last 4 games. And he's got a very similar record to Cech, I think. So he's only conceded 1 goal in 5 games and 4 clean sheets, something like that. So he's been very impressive. He also gets some save points here and there. But yeah, very happy with him. And also, like I said, I'd want to have someone from Chelsea and someone from Sevilla. And 4 million for Koundé, that already covers Sevilla very well. I know there's Diego Carlos, who gets a lot of ball recovery points, but I think Koundé can also do the same. And yeah, did very well against Rennes, and back-to-back games against Krasnodar, including, the first ones at home. So yeah, Koundé is a must-have, I think, in my opinion, at 4 million. You can't really go wrong. So even if they don't keep the clean sheets as you would want, 4 million is a very good price. And moving on to the defence, Joshua Kimmich in for Pavard. To be fair, I could stick with Pavard and then invest that money into the midfield or attack. But yeah, back-to-back 10-pointers for this guy. And like I said, conceded, yet still got 10 points. This guy is the real deal, and he plays in midfield. So yeah, with Joshua Kimmich, not too much to think about there. It'd be between him and Pavard in my buying defence. I'm not really going to look past them two. And Thomas Meunier, at the moment I've retained him. The other option is to go for Christian Romero, who is actually one of the highest scoring players in the whole game because of his ball recovery points. But Thomas Meunier, like I said, probably better fixtures because Christian Romero for Atalanta, he has got Liverpool back-to-back and he still has Ajax again. But as for Thomas Meunier, back-to-back games with Club Brugge instead. And yeah, Lazio isn't an easy game. And then Zenit away, they could concede. But yeah, at the moment, I do have him. If there is anyone, same with anyone else in my team, like if there's any better alternatives, then let me know. And I will have a look at them for sure. I know, of course, we're looking at this guy, Angelino, who's got 20 points, the highest scoring defender, along with Kimmich. But the 5 goals that they conceded against Man United really puts me off. So, and they've got PSG back-to-back. So I'm not expecting clean sheets. You'd be relying on attacking returns from Angelino. So yeah, that's pretty much why I avoided in the first place. But after that amazing first game against Istanbul, that already kind of, that made me think, what, this guy could be an amazing bargain. But I don't know. I'm not saying that you can't go for him because he's still got Istanbul in match day 5. But just the fixtures aren't there, and the defense for Leipzig is just awful against Man United. And they actually, brought players on, some of their key players on. It's not like they started with them. So yeah, Leipzig not looking too good there. Joe Gomez I actually have, and if it wasn't for ball recoveries, of course, I'd just be like, Trent or Robertson. But yeah, 23 ball recoveries. So yeah, this guy can still get points even when they concede. And Midtjylland away, I know it's looking really far forward, but yeah, Joe Gomez I think can get plenty of points. And it's between him or Trent, in my opinion, because Trent gets more ball recoveries than Robertson. And also in the Champions League, he's just looked so good. And recently, even in the Premier League against Sheffield, should have got more points. So yeah, it'd be between him and Joe Gomez for that Liverpool defender spot. And yeah, apart from that, Danilo is my last pick at 5 million. And really, look at the fixtures, back-to-back games against Ferencváros. And then a home game against Dynamo Kiev. Yeah, they've got Barcelona away at the end, but most likely he'd be on my bench for that. So yeah, not really too bothered. But yeah, Danilo is there at the moment. But of course, there are other options around that price bracket and just overall. And so, this is not set and forget. The only ones who I think would be a set and forget is having a Liverpool defender, either Joe Gomez or Trent, having Kimmich or Pavard, and Koundé, and the keeper. Apart from that, in the defence, I could change Danilo, I could change Thomas Meunier. I'm not going to say it's set and forget. As for the midfield, now, this is dependent on what I do up front, and I'll explain, but Rashford, back-to-back games, and I keep saying back-to-back, but it's very important because the matchday 3 opponent for all of these teams is going to be the exact same as matchday 4, which is one of the reasons why I want a wildcard. You pretty much have 2 of the same fixtures, in a row. And yeah, they got PSG after that and Leipzig, but you already saw what this guy can do. 16 points against Leipzig, and he only played 27 minutes. That is actually incredible. And against PSG, he did very well. So yeah, Rashford for 9 million. It's either him or Bruno, and I think Bruno is the talisman for that United side. But Rashford has just been so sharp in the Champions League, and he's 9 million. That saves you an extra $500,000. So yeah, I think Rashford 6% ownership as well. Bit of a differential. I'm backing him at the moment. He is in my team, and I just think he's better than Di Maria. Can't do too much worse than 3 points from Angel. And Wilmar Barrios stays in my team. Yeah, just he gets those ball recovery points. Simple as 21 ball recoveries, and look at that. They've lost both games. They've conceded 4 goals, and yet he still gets back-to-back 5-pointers. So yeah, for 4.5 million, you can't really go wrong. And there's a reason why he's owned by so many people in the game. Ansu Fati. Now, this is dependent on certain things. So the option at the moment that I'm kind of debating in my head is having Ansu Fati and Zapata up front, which is a bit more balanced. But the other option would be to get the one and only, the greatest of all time, Lionel Messi, or, well, I mean, having Messi would mean, how much would I have in my bank? 6.4 million. And you look down the list, there's Janusovic, but I'm not too sure. And there's Tete, but then again, I'm not too sure. And there's Fred. There's plenty of options. There's Gundogan as well, who scored back-to-back goals in back-to-back games. But I'm not too sure, if I'm honest. I'm not too sure on this option. I could just stick with Olmo, but like I said, I'm not really feeling it. I don't think he's producing. I don't think Leipzig are doing that well. I mean, if they're gonna get smacked by United like that, what's gonna happen against PSG? It could be more of the same thing. But yeah, so I would want Messi or Lewandowski, but that would mean having a cheap midfielder. Otherwise, I'd have to downgrade one of my defenders, or maybe even Rashford, or maybe even Sterling, or one of my other strikers. So I've got a bit of a dilemma here. So basically, the option would be Messi and a cheap midfielder, like one of the ones I've mentioned, or have Zapata and Fati, which is a bit more balanced. But then again, Fati didn't even start in the last game. He's not going to start every single game, so it could be a bit disappointing on that front. But yeah, he's been Barcelona's best player this season. But then if not, look at Messi. He's been one of the top players in the Champions League, and he actually even could have got the assist for Dembele's goal, and that would have been even more points. But yeah, Messi, he's been good, but I still don't think it's as good as he can be. I think he's normally sharper, normally more clinical. Like on another day, he could have got 2 or 3 against Juventus, and against Ferencváros, he could have got even more returns. And to be honest, he should have had more assists. Passes to Griezmann and to Dembele should have been converted, but he should have converted himself. So it's a tough one, and he's gone up in price, as you can see there. And moving on to the rest of the team, there's Casemiro, and I know some of you actually were asking me, what do you think of my team? And I know a lot of you had said Casemiro, and I said, well, you probably should go for more attacking options. But to be honest, I was wrong in that front, simply put, because this guy also can get goals and assists, as he did against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he also just gets the ball recoveries. He can just get so many points from it. So if we're honest, I think ideally what you would want in a midfield is have 2 holding midfielders who get those ball recovery points, as I have right now with Barrios and Casemiro, and then if possible have more attacking minded players like Sterling, like Rashford, like Coman, and those who can have assists as well, like De Bruyne. That's the ideal thing, but then you'd probably have to kind of downgrade in defense or in the attack. So it's a tough balance to find. And like I said, I'm not too confident in most of the other midfielders around 6 million, which is why I'm having a bit of a problem here, trying to fit Messi in and also the rest of the players you see on screen. So yeah, but Casemiro, very good for 6 million. You probably should go for him. Unless Dani Olmo fixes himself up and Leipzig are just, they click into a gear, I'd have to say Casemiro at 6 million is probably the best at that price, and same with Barrios at 4.5 million. Sterling, I had him before, I'll probably keep him. There's also Kevin De Bruyne, but Sterling can play up front. Aguero should be back in a few weeks. Sterling will play on the left after, and he's even better there. He's produced in both games. And with Salah and Mane, I think Klopp, he's probably going to be a bit more hesitant to kind of play them every single minute. And as you saw with Salah, he got subbed off in the 57th minute or something like that against Ajax. Same with Mane. And then in the second game against Midtjylland, they actually came on as substitutes very late on. But with Sterling, you're guaranteed to get a lot of minutes. And surprisingly, we're saying that about someone who plays under Pep, more so than Klopp. So yeah, Sterling's going to stay in my team, I think. And that pretty much sums it up in terms of the midfield. And before I quickly forget, the goalkeeper, 4.5 million, not too many options right now. And if I don't spend another 0.5 or more on a keeper, it's probably going to be this guy. But yeah, not too sure. There's Sportiello, but he's got back-to-back games against Liverpool. So yeah, this guy, at least he's got Borussia Mönchengladbach in game week 3 and 4. So yeah, I'd probably go for this guy at the moment. And Haaland, I don't really have to say too much. He consistently ticks over and gets goals. And I still think he's got a big haul in him. I think he could get maybe a brace or a hat-trick in one of these games. And I'd be looking at match day 4 for that. But we'll have to wait and see there. But this guy is fixture-proof. He's the main guy for Dortmund. If they score, most likely this guy's going to be involved. And yeah, so good for his age. The last guy is Lassina Traore. Now, I saw him starting in the league, but then at times he was getting benched and they were playing other people up front. So that kind of put me off from getting him originally. And then you saw he came on as a substitute against Liverpool, got 6 minutes, not really what you want to see. But then he got 5 goals, I think, and 3 assists in their 13-0 win, I think it was, or 14-0 win. And then he played against Atalanta and he scored. And he won a penalty. So I have to say, this guy, for 5 million, you can't really go wrong. So you might as well spend that extra 0.5 million if you had Rodriguez, for example, from Dynamo Kiev, on this guy, because he should be getting games. And look at who he has next in match day 3 and 4, Midtjylland, one of the worst teams in the Champions League. So this guy could be an amazing pick for 5 million. He hasn't even gone up in price. And I still believe he's got low ownership. Let me just check that quickly. 9%. I think everything kind of ticks for this guy, and he should be playing. He's on form. It'd be a bit harsh to bench him, and just great fixtures overall for the next 2 anyway. After that, Liverpool away, wouldn't really expect too much, and Atalanta home, he could do something there as well. So he's kind of set and forget, I think, for the rest of the group stages, and it allows me to have 2 other premium forwards, 2 premium midfielders at least, some premium defenders, and a good all-round team. But like I said, I want your opinions. I want your help. What should I do in my team? Like, would you change certain things? Would you just go from Kimmich to Pavard and that'll give me more money in midfield? Would you go for Gomez or Messi up front, or maybe even Zapata or someone else? And in midfield, would you go for Fati or would you go for one of these cheaper midfielders? Would you actually trust Tete, for example, who is probably the most likely I would have if I were to get Messi? But I'm not really too confident. He got a big haul against Real Madrid, but I wouldn't expect it on a consistent basis, if you know what I mean. But it's some tough decisions to be made. I am happy with the team overall. It's much better than what I have originally, and I most likely will wildcard this week, and that will mean both my chips are gone and dusted. But yeah, I want your opinions. Let me know, what should I do with my team to improve it? And if you want any suggestions from me and from the rest of the community, let me know and let us know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. But yeah, more UCL Fantasy videos will be coming out, and more FPL videos. I might start doing deadline streams, so let me know if you want me to do that. And I could do the same for UCL Fantasy. More content, more football, more points hopefully, more hauls. we can only pray and hope for all of that. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate all of your support, and yeah, take care. Have a great day and a week and life. But yeah, and I'll see you next time.